How's it going, guys? It's Kyle the How-To Guy 123 here, and recently I've been building my new PC, which features an MSI B550-A Pro motherboard, which has a B550 chipset on it, and I've been having some issues with it, and I just wanted to show you guys, maybe to see if any of you guys have an idea of what's going on here, and maybe even just to warn you guys, perhaps not to pick up this motherboard. So essentially, I have my PC all wired up here just loosely to test out all the hardware, and I have a drive here, an NVMe drive here. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. So it's a Sabrent Rocket. So it's a Sabrent Rocket Q4 2 terabyte PCIe 4 drive, and if you look on the box here in big letters of the my motherboard here, you can see it's PCIe 4 ready, graphics, and NVMe only. So theoretically, this motherboard should have no problem with this drive here. So let's go ahead and turn on the computer here. As of right now, there's no drive in the second M.2 slot, but we'll get to that in a second. So I'm just gonna focus the camera here, and let's go ahead and turn on the computer. So it's plugged into DVI on that monitor here. So and it's also plugged into the wall, obviously, and I got a keyboard in there. So I'll just go ahead and turn this on. Oh, you know what help? If I actually turn the power on. So now let's go ahead and turn this on. So the computer actually powers on. But if you look here, I'll just turn off the light to make it easier. If you zoom in here, or if I zoom in here, the motherboard has these easy debug lights, and probably really hard to see here, but the CPU light is on the motherboard. So the easy debug lights just tell you if there's something wrong with the motherboard, and the CPU light just does not turn on, or does not turn off. And if we take a look at the monitor here, you can see the monitor is clearly not on. So basically the computer is not posting. Alright, so I just went ahead and turned the computer off, and I'm going to take out the M.2 drive here, and I'm going to put it in the second M.2 slot here. By the way, the first M.2 slot supports PCIe 4. The second one only supports PCIe 3. So just go ahead and take the drive out. So I'm using quite a big screwdriver to take out this little M.2 screw here. It's the only one I could find that was magnetic, but it works fine. Alright, so I'm gonna stick that in the bottom one here. So hope you guys can see the graphics card wire is in the way, but the drive is now in the second M.2 slot. So now let's go ahead and turn on the computer again. You can see the easy debug light does stay on, but it will eventually turn off. Or it's on, but will eventually turn off. You can see it's cycling through them. And if you, so the light went off, you can see the motherboard, or the monitor is posting. I do actually have Windows on this drive, so, but you can see the drive basically boots fine. Alright, so I just wanted to boot into the BIOS here to show you guys that I am on the latest version of the BIOS for this motherboard, which is E7C56 AMS.850, which is the build date January 15th, 2021. If we go to storage here, you can see that I hope you guys can see the Sabrent Rocket Q4 is detected here, and it has 2 terabytes, and you just previously saw that I was able to boot into Windows. So one reason I thought this might be happening is on MSI's website, they have a list of all the supported drives that this motherboard supports, and the Sabrent Rocket Q4 was not one of them. So I figured maybe one of the reasons I'm having this issue is that the drive is just not supported, or the Gen4 whatever is just not supported on this drive. So I went out and I picked up this other drive, which is a Western Digital Black SN850, which is also a Gen4 drive, but this was on the list of supported drives on MSI's website. So let's go ahead and stick this into the M1 slot, and let's see what happens. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove the rocket from the M.2 at the bottom. Alright, and there's our what should be unsupported drive. And let's put our so-called supported drive. in the Gen 4 slot, the M.2 1 slot, which is a Gen 4 slot. That should be in. Let's finally go ahead and turn on the computer, and let's see what happens. Spoiler alert, it doesn't work. Well, it should work, but it doesn't. And you can see there's our CPU light. And you can see we got nothing on the screen. So yeah, basically the M.2 1 slot does not work. I haven't tried this, so both the drives we just tested are PCIe Gen4 drives. I don't actually have a PCIe 3 drive to test it out, but I don't think it's gonna work. So basically I tried looking into this problem online, and there were a few other people with the same board who had the same problem, and they couldn't really find a solution to it. Some of them, they were all using Gen 4 drives, but some of them did test with Gen 3 drives, and they also were having no luck. And basically, none of them were able to figure out a solution to this problem. Some of them just decided to use the M.2 slot at the bottom, and some people just decided to RMA the board entirely, and that's probably what I'm going to be doing in this situation. I tried to contact MSI, and well, actually, I tried contacting MSI a few days ago, but their support site was down. I'm assuming it was based in Texas, and that's why it was down. But I just recently contacted them, and I'm just awaiting a response. But if they can't seem to give me a solution, I'll probably just be arming the board. Also, basically the reason why I'm making this video is to see if any of you guys have any sort of idea of a way to, you know, fix this problem. I did check in the BIOS, see if there's some sort of setting. There was one setting where you can change the M.2 1 slot to like change the generation, the PCIe generation. I turned it down to, I set it specifically to Gen 4, didn't work. I set it to Gen 3, and it still didn't work. So that was pretty much the only setting that stood out to me that could be affecting this in the BIOS. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, if I do move this Western Digital block to the M.2 slot, it does the PC does boot. So basically, the first slot just does not work. Alright guys, so one more thing I just wanted to mention before I end off this video is, yeah, obviously I can take my M.2 drive and put it in the second slot under the graphics card and just use Windows and, you know, use my computer that way. But obviously this is a brand new board, and I don't want to use a brand new board that obviously has an issue, especially since it's under warranty. I still want to, you know, RMA it and get a perfectly working board. Also, since these are PCIe 4 drives, I want to have the full speed that I paid for. Like, I paid extra for PCIe 4 drive, and obviously I want to utilize that. So that's pretty much why I don't just want to use the M.2 under the graphics card there. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I know this isn't usually the type of content I make. I'm usually telling you guys how to fix stuff, but this time I don't really have a solution. I just wanted to get your guys' insight and just show the problem here. Also, I just want to warn you guys, maybe not to pick up this B550 board, or this MSI board, because I'm having issues with it, and yeah. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Hopefully I get this sorted out soon.